so I don't know why, but, well, I actually watch videos of boxing techniques and jiu-jitsu and things, MMA, and then you get all kinds of stuff about exercise, about nutrition. Lately I've been getting some guy, he says squatting, which is what I'm doing now, squatting. But he says squatting is good for your autoimmune system. I think it helps your digestion, which supposedly is. So what's the idea here? When the waste stays in the body longer than it needs to, it's more susceptible to becoming something bad for you? Is that what he's trying to say? Anyway, he's saying that people don't squat. I don't know if everybody can do this, but anyway, he said that this helps you to digest and stuff like that. So ultimately it helps your health. So who knows? So there's your message of the day. Did you squat today? Today is oh boy, there's a lot of feasts. Today is the feast of Saint Mark of Aviano, who rallied the Europeans to come together while the Catholic nations were fighting each other. The Ottoman Turks were conquering territory and moving right into Europe, and then they got repelled, and whole story. And somehow they left their coffee behind. This isn't what made him a saint. He was a Capuchin monk, and they left their coffee behind, and the soldiers got the coffee. It was so bitter that they put honey and milk with it, and named it after the monks, the Capuchins, cappuccino. Yep, that's the legend. It's also the feast of St. John Beauchamp, who basically didn't do anything extraordinary. He did everything ordinary things. He didn't perform miracles. He did not perform miracles with the assistance of God, of course. He didn't start orders. He didn't do anything like that, but he took care of his mother. He was an altar server. He just did everything. He just lived where people would have probably looked at my words and said, I want what he's got. He had a peace and a calm and a cordiality towards everyone that he just walked a saintly walk on earth, right down, the middle of your neighborhood and your houses and the grocery store. Nothing extraordinary, but ordinary, but still extraordinary because he's a saint. And then today is also this feast of... is today the feast of Blessed Michael Joseph McGivney, who founded the Knights of Columbus. And then it's also the feast day of Saint, let's see if I get this right, Cassian of Imola, who was a teacher of writing and also in the pagan community, and also in 304, and also threw in a little Christianity teaching in there when they found out when he wouldn't worship idols or sacrifice to idols. They had him killed. They tied him up and told the pagan students to execute him, which they did with rods that they used to write with on wax, the picture was pretty horrific. And then also, let's see, who was the other one? Saint Hippolytus of Rome, who was a Roman soldier who was tasked with guarding Christians. He became convinced and became a Christian, and when he went to bury some of the Christian martyrs, they accused him of Christianity, and they had him executed by attaching, either dragging him by horse or having him attached arm, leg, and leg to horses and just going north, south, east, and west. So those were both two pretty gruesome. So You know, we run the gamut of saints today. Those martyred, those did heroic things. By the way, Saint Mark of Aviano did perform miracles. He also was a preacher in Europe. A sister, a nun, had been bedridden for 13 years, and he prayed over her, and she was healed. And after that, even Leopold I, the Emperor of Austria, wanted his advice and consultation, as well as other people. So it's a great saint day. The saints run the gamut. Let's ask all the saints to pray for us. Please pray for the souls in purgatory.